All right, day 5 afternoon. We have completed our morning walk and a little bit of jogging in there. Both of us feeling like we needed a little extra loosening up. And then the swimming. Dawn did quite a bit more swimming. We can tell you a little bit about it once we get done with the physical aspect of it, so that way you can be directly in the camera explaining it. Let's see how we are doing in here, see what's going on. Not feeling too bad. There is a little tautness right up in here, but it's not the same kind. It's not big ballooning. It's more like you just did a little bit of a workout there. Well organized instead of just balled up. Not causing an extreme amount of pain really anywhere. It's just there. It's just there. Okay, a little bit more over here. Outer part of the traps. We're just going to kind of reorganize those muscles a little bit. Adjust their positions just a tad. One sec, I gotta adjust the volume. Now we're getting somewhere. We're getting down to some of the postural muscles, longissimus. It doesn't feel bad. Just needs a little reorganizing. Let some other ones fall loose from it.
Why, those are popping up and some others release? Is that what happens?
Well, yeah, their other ones are out of the way so that I can feel the difference between it and your traps, it and your lats, because it's actually separated. Your lats are flat enough that I can get through them and manipulate the longissimus individually from the lat.
Otherwise they were tight?
Otherwise the lat was too tight and they had kind of glued themselves up in there. That's nice. Quite a bit of release in that area. Check the neck. Upper thoracics.
Yeah, these maneuvers that you've just been doing, checking the neck, they're pushing into some of the deep pain in the neck.
Yeah, there is some, and that's where the furthest part of the injury is going to be, is through all of that into those deep, deep muscles, way down inside there. We call those the suture muscles.
Wow.
Cross.
Yeah.
Getting closer to them.
Yeah, that's deep.
And that's where this injury is going to be, it's, interior, most interiorly hidden, held.
I had no idea how complex, how deep this is. It's really nothing magical to it. It's intelligent. It's science. It's
Very mechanical.
knowledge. Yeah, very mechanical. It's layered. It's not just one little area,
Right. It's layered and organized. And you got to put it all back into its proper layers.
Most practitioners would have a hard time because they're not experienced. They haven't known to go that wide and deep, really,
Correct.
or haven't taken the time to make the effort, because that's not the normal client practitioner.
No, they're not expecting the massage therapist to be as in depth, and we're not really we're doing things well beyond that point. We're into a full aspect of total health healing, well beyond what typical massage therapy is teaching.
Yeah.
Knowing your layers and your organization and what goes on inside in between those points, as well as the nerve conduction, your lymphatic, your circulatory, and how to get that organization to work appropriately. You're not just working in one little area, you're working the whole of it and bringing it all together. And you have to be able to understand that level of depth if you're going to get these kind of results.
Well, and I think there you have the client, the patient, many times is not that motivated to go that deep because they're not going that deep or holistic in other self-care related practices to their body. So
No.
you have to have
Two-part
some
system.
real motivation and passion, and actually it would have to have a lot of experience with body work
Yeah, it does
to be
help
able
on
to
that.
be capable of releasing some of this to be capable and worthy of this deep healing.
And that's one of the reasons why I teach an understanding of the body while I'm working on it. That's a lot of psychological stuff too, but I teach you an understanding mechanically of how your body works so that you can learn how to let go and how to understand where you're at, what's going on when things are damaged. It's very important for you to understand it's your body, not mine. I can help you fix it, but you're the one that's actually going to be doing some of the major repairs if you do your daily stuff. I'm just helping you bring awareness. Not much different in some senses. It's a huge amount of difference in instruction, don't get me wrong, in what we're doing. But what isn't different is the teaching aspect of if you go to a yoga class for an hour and a half and you're learning, let that go, and you're learning new yoga moves, your best bet is to spend every day in between working on those techniques, improving your body. If you only go once a week or 3 times a week and that's the only time you do it, then you're never practicing it. You're only just learning pieces and parts of it. You need to practice it consistently if you want it to do better. And this is very much that way. This is very much that fashion. It's a 100% hands-on teaching you where to look, what to do, and how to deal with those situations. On top of it, I'm doing a lot of energetic connection to the body and reteaching things on that side and manually manipulating. But at the same time, this is your time to learn how to work with your body. So I spend a lot of time teaching you the things you need to know, where your muscles are at, what's going on, how they interact with each other, what's the psychology behind why that one's causing you problems. There's a lot more to full whole health holistic care than there is to just, rough and buff massage therapy. This is a whole different aspect of that, getting you further into it.
Very deep healing.
Yes. Actually, with the intent to heal. Bit of an inflammation on this border for this trap coming through here. But it's not the trap, it's just in the way. It's right below it. Feel that rib right there that I'm riding on? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There's another one. I like to push it up just a little bit. Which would be... See, now I can even get in and reorganize and discuss the bones that are below here and the deeper and deeper muscles that are inside of there. Before, we were just trying to get those outer layers to open up, let us in. Big trap was up there keeping everything from getting through. Yeah, that rib right there is being drawn upward. Right at where it connects to the cartilage portion of it, where it connects to the spine, it's drawn up away from it a little bit. Not so on that side. Dig around and kind of lift that border up and see if we can get to through the rhomboids into the subscapes. Reorganize.
It feels like you're getting deeper, or
I am.
More movement, or
Both things. right there. Same spot. Let that shoulder fall.
There's a lot to this healing.
There it is.
It's no simple matter. This is not straightforward.
No. A lot of assessment, a lot of asking. Ooh, it's like a splenocopetus. Could be. Or it might just be one of the upper entanglements of the longissimus. Postural muscles. I think they're inflamed by the sutures ones below. Just a little bit.
Do you have
That's
any
better.
analysis of what might have been beneficial or not beneficial or occurred or didn't occur in my swimming session?
Oh, from what I saw when you were doing the swimming session, everything looked really nice. So you were actually looked like you were pulling water pretty good. You were able to maneuver your arms in really nice fashion. Just keep working at it.
And now, do you notice anything in the
In
area
here, up
of
here?
event that was benefited or?
Well, what I'm finding is that even from this morning to now, there's so much more relaxed in this area. So the having that big inflammation that we've been dealing with, and then just being able to bring it down in that cold water. And I know Dawn was in the water for quite a bit longer today than usual. Plus, doing the swimming strokes has really caused some reorganizing to happen. You know, there's a lot more looseness in those areas, and we're getting down to some more fine detail work and just breaking things loose. That shoulder drop
So the cold water
helped.
stretching is a compliment to the work you're doing.
Yeah, I think so. I really do.
I do too. It's it's very cold, and to stay in a while, it really chills that whole area down. And I don't know medically what it does, but it must bring the blood into those areas.
Well,
Circulation,
it does because you have to speed up your circulation to be able to bring the heat into those areas while you're cooling it from the outside. Flash cooling it a bit too.
yeah, quenching it.
Definitely some pectoralis minor, as we expected. Let that shoulder go. Check the SCM again. Sternocleidomastoid mastoid. Right at that clavicle border. Make sure it doesn't get too tight. Back up. Check its upper connection. Back down. Pec minor. Lots of pec minor. Checking to make sure our serratus anterior are not in the way. Right on the ribs and just rolling it back. Not the culprit of the problem.
So a lot of what your strategy is as you move from one method or one area is you're feeling intuitive, you're probing and feeling, what needs to be done next, or
Right.
something like that.
Well, I'm feeling the relaxant of each muscle individually, allowing me to work it, manipulate it without any extra problems in there. And as it relaxes and gets out of my way, I can get deeper. One of the positional goals is to get down to the bone itself and be able to manipulate the periosteum over the endosteum. So the endosteum being the most outer point of the bone, periosteum being that really tough covering on the bone that everything connects to, and we need to be able to manipulate to bring that circulation into that area, every bone. That coupled with the meditation exercises that I have on my podcasts about that, teaching you to work your way into your bones and learn how to release your way outward. Coupled with this physical work, whereas I'm focused on doing that, but I'm the one that's doing the focused intent. It'll make a huge difference in your life, that's for sure. Back minor.
Boy, this would be so helpful for a chiropractor to be able to have
This
this
level.
deep of skill, this level of skill, as he makes his adjustments.
Make sure you stay relaxed. I'm using my foot along the spine, mostly just to hold him in place as I protract his arms backwards. I'm squeezing his shoulder blades in. He's not doing it, I'm doing it. Actually going to put my foot between the shoulder blades. Create a distraction there. I am putting a little bit of downward pressure. My heel, flat of my foot, all of my toes.
Yeah.
Let that go. Too easy to hook up. That's the problem. And yeah, I mean, a person could be ridiculous and be way too hard. But if you notice, as Dawn's obviously noticing that I'm doing very easy, moving it around, very controlled manner. Let that
Yeah,
go.
it would upset the whole healing if you tweaked it and if you weren't sensitive.
Let go. Yeah, if I was let you go into a sympathetic mode.
It's a very fine point how much you can push and go and
Exactly.
without having the muscle or whatever react in a negative way and
Yeah, because if we
pull back.
upset the muscle and we go into a negative feedback, so we create a sympathetic mode, then we got to start it over. We got to build positivity back
more
in.
injured, more scared.
You got to bring positivity back to it. If it's scared, then that's going to be that's a sign, that's a pain, that's a symbol of negativity that brings that awareness of fear into you when you're doing it. Next time I try to do it, it might guard up really, really hard and make me have to work hard 4 or 5 more times before it's comfortable with me doing it again. And there are times, there have been cases when I have to do that right off the bat with a client to break that cycle that they got going in. It's a pain cycle.
I don't know why there would be pain on the nodules of the pelvis there when we're working.
Well, this here has so many muscles are holding it, plus this is your center of gravity right here, center of balancing point. And this, if anything is going to be going wrong, this will always end up taking a punishment.
What do you call that?
The iliac, this is the posterior iliac medial crest. This would be the posterior iliac crest right here. This is the most medial portion of that crest.
What's the iliac?
That's this part right here that makes up your hip bone. Iliac.
So it makes up the hip bone?
Yeah. Yeah, the hip bone's made up of 4 pieces. Broken down into multiple pieces. It's not just one big bowl.
But why would that be sore? I can damage it.
No, but you got a ton of muscles and tendons that are hanging off of it. And if you're twisted, like you were actually twisted like this, so you got things pulling here, you got things pulling here, you got things pulling from on this side, and so it's sore because of that.
Well, when was I twisted? Just now, you mean?
No, yeah, for
Generally.
quite a while you had
Yeah.
been quite twisted over where this shoulder was dropped
You mean
down.
where you were teaching me how to rewalk?
Exactly. Working on the rewalking series. And then of course we have our sacrum going down inside of there, and it's sitting inside of this V shape. And so if things are off, that's walking in and out like this, and it's causing it to build up a bunch of extra scar tissue. And then again, if we don't have our circulation fully flow through there, we gain knots like this. That one right there. Yep. And then you got your gluteus medius coming right up off of there, your gluteus maximus, so those are big muscles hanging off of that same point. Everything that's going up, and then you got everything that's going down. Just the walking alone would build it up there. Alright, Don, go ahead and come on up. Tell us how your swimming's been doing.
Oh my Lord of heaven. You don't know how good it feels to be in the healing state and have Teo's hands and fingers not only have power, skill, intuition. Anyway, it's working. I went swimming today in the cold water of the Rogue, and I never thought I'd be able to swim hardly a stroke. I swim 4 different strokes: backstroke, crawl stroke, butterfly stroke, and breaststroke. And I was able to actually do the mechanics of them, 3, 5, 7 different strokes. And it's, wow, I mean, getting my swimming started back again. Woo.
Yeah, now we'd be comfortable to be able to go out and do the rest of the swimming that we're going to go do. And this is after this damage that he had done about 6 months ago, where he had gotten to the point where he couldn't even attempt to do those strokes.
Gratefully healing.
So, very good. Thank you, Don. All right, sign off till tomorrow. You guys have a fantastic evening. Take fantastic care of your bodies. All right, day 5 afternoon. We have completed our morning walk and a little bit of jogging in there. Both of us feeling like we needed a little extra loosening up. And then the swimming. Dawn did quite a bit more swimming. We can tell you a little bit about it once we get done with the physical aspect of it, so that way you can be directly in the camera explaining it. Let's see how we are doing in here. See what's going on. Not feeling too bad. There is a little tautness right up in here, but it's not the same kind. It's not big ballooning. It's more like you just did a little bit of a workout there. Well organized instead of just balled up. Not causing an extreme amount of pain, really, any. It's just there. Okay, a little bit more over here. Outer part of the traps. We're just going to kind of reorganize those muscles a little bit. Adjust their positions just a tad. One sec, I gotta adjust the volume.